what I know and experience, the possibility management works a lot with the feelings and the fear. Can you say something more how you work with this, how you work with fear
Yeah.
with your methods?
Yeah, we live in a culture where feelings, especially feelings like fear or anger or sadness, are defined as negative or bad. And so we learn very early in our life to not feel them, to not feel fear or anger or sadness. Or we say, if you feel too much fear or anger or sadness, then you are ill, or something is not, something is wrong with you, or you need a psychotherapist or something. And this mm, this way of looking on feelings is limiting us very much, because feelings are not a design error of God, or they have not a meaning. They have a power, or they give us power. Feeling gives us certain powers and information. So as long as we don't want to have the fear or the anger or the sadness, we have no access to these powers, because fear, when it is okay to feel fear, then fear makes me, for example, very awake. I can perceive things that I normally don't perceive. Uh, it makes me very creative.
Like what?
We like what? Creative, like what?
No, no. You say like you makes you perceive the things that you don't normally perceive. Like what?
Yeah, like intuition, having an intuition, having a getting information that with my mind I don't get. Well, I don't know if you ever have had this experience that that you were in a situation of fear, and at a certain point you got an information, you knew that something was like this, and the
Actually,
information
yes,
didn't came from from
yeah,
your mind.
I did, but it's just recently, and thankfully to possibility of management that I actually start to combine those two. Like I never really realized it has something to do with the fear. It was like, okay, the fear is there and the intuition is there. It's just recently that I see that this fear that I had all my life with me, and I was like fighting it, and was like, I don't want to feel this fear
Hmm.
anymore. In it, and just recently I see the connection between the fear
Hmm.
and those things that I saw, that I felt, that like those details that I was seeing, and those information that I
Hmm.
and actually, like, it's really recent, and I have the story that most of the people don't really like combine the fear with what you're saying
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, because the fear of the fear is so big that
No.
we don't enter the realm of fear, and then we don't have access to this power like intuition. And fear makes us also very creative. So if there is if we are in a situation where there is a problem, and we are afraid of not solving it or not coming out of that, then if we have access to the fear, fear makes us very creative. For example, I'm self-employed, and in January, at the beginning of the year, I don't know if I will get enough training participants or orders or something to pay all my invoices, or to pay all the rent and everything. So, and this fear makes me creative. I ask myself, okay, what do people need at the moment from me? What new stuff can I offer as trainings or something? So this is, I use the fear to be creative, um, to uh, to offer or to make new offers, for example. So this is one thing. Let me get back to the start of your question. So yeah, the power of the feelings, especially of the negative feelings. Then sadness, for example, the power of sadness is really to find out what is dear to your heart, what is important for you, what breaks your heart when you look into the world outside. This could, for example, to find out what breaks your heart when you look into the world could be a hint for your vocation, because obviously you have a picture in mind that is different from what happens at the moment. And this Spannung, this tension between the picture you have in mind and what happening actually in the world, there's a tension, and the sadness of that it is not like that can bring you into action also to do something. And the same is with the anger. So anger is a power that brings us in action, and we can take a stand for something, or we can make a boundary. And also, if you look into the world and something makes you angry, this could also be a hint for a vocation, because it is dear to you. You want to guard it, or you want to save it. So this could be a job that is on your bench, but only if you have access to your feelings. If you don't, if you don't allow yourself to be angry, or to see what makes you angry, then you don't have this information, and also not the power to use it.
Thank you. How was it for you to discover like this feeling thing? Because from my experience, it was like the most one of the most like mind blowing and really making my world upside down experiences, and really like got to get out of my head and go to my body and experience how much feelings do I actually have, and how big they are, and how, yeah, like how vivid they are, was like complete like and it still is actually, and it's still like for me it's really difficult experience. So for me, like, and a great experience. And so the question is, how was your journey to encounter it, to explore it? Because the one thing is to talk about the feeling, and the other
Mm-hmm.
thing is actually to get and feel and express
Yeah.
it.
So when I first heard about it, it was for me also like a revelation. It was in 2005 when I participated the first time at a possibility management training. It was an expand the box training, and I got to know about feelings. And in this moment when I heard it, that there are only 4 feelings and what power they contain, in this moment I became conscious that I didn't know about anything about feelings. Before, I didn't even know that I didn't know anything about feelings. I think also before I followed my feelings, but it was not conscious. I quitted my job because of the fear that this is what the working word is about, for example. So I already followed my feelings, but I didn't know. I wasn't conscious about it, that it was my fear, for example. And then I did this workshop. It was a 3 days workshop, and then I was clear at once that I want to proceed with this work, because I saw the potential and the life-changing potential that it consists, or that it contained. And then I proceeded with the trainer training, and I got I did the advanced trainings, and I did all this feelings work to really get access to my feelings, because they were buried within me, and together with a lot of old emotions from the past, and then really to separate all the stuff and get the distinctions. What is a feeling? How can I use it? What are emotions? How can I heal them so they don't make me react like a machine? And it was a path. It was a path that I followed, so that the potential that that was behind it could be released. And it needed time. It needed a little bit of time to do that work.
And for me, it's also revolutionary that it actually the feelings can serve your true purpose, like to live vocation. And as you said, possibility management is like a rocket fuel, right? Like to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And is it actually possible to like to fully live your vocation, like the true thing in you, without having connection to your feelings?
I doubt it. From my own experience, I doubt it, because as I said, following your vocation is going beyond your comfort zone, going out of the normal, because the normal has nothing to do with vocation or calling or something. Our normal way of working is a Überleben, is a survival strategy. It's a survival concept. I learn a lot. I go to school. I learn a lot to have a good job that is well paid, so I can pay my rent and everything. So this is the working context, at least from the generation I was raised in, or I was born into. So this is our past. And to follow your vocation means to step out of this context. And this, you can also you can only step out of this context or getting beyond your comfort zone when you enter the realm of fear. And without having access to your fear, or without being okay with fear, you will not get there. And to be okay with fear, you need your anger, your warrior, so that it's safer for you to go into this realm of fear or not knowing. And to not be only hard and warrior, you also need your sadness to get to add love and understanding and empathy to the warrior, or at the side of the warrior. So yeah, you need all your feelings to follow your
What
vocation.
about joy?
What about
Joy.
joy? Yeah, and also joy. Yeah, joy can help you also to go over the threshold of your comfort zone, because something is inspiring you, or you are neugierig, curious about something. So it's also very helpful to step beyond your comfort zone. So
I'm
all
asking
the
it.
four are very powerful and very useful when you want to follow your vocation.